Hey, how's it going, guys? James Pena here, teaching you tips and subtleties on basic sleight of hand. Today, we're actually not going to be going over cards. We're actually going to be going over a few rubber band tricks. The reason why I kind of want to go over them is because sometimes you can't always just lead straight into card magic when you want to go out and perform, right? People having decks of cards with them isn't really that impromptu, if I were to say. So sometimes it's good to have like a good opener or like a attention gainer to kind of pull the crowd in before you start displaying your card magic. So today we're going to be going over some rubber bands. They're fun, they're easy to do. Just because they're easy to do, don't underestimate it. That's like the biggest thing I can say about it. So let's just get straight to the video. Alright, so I know I said I was going to show you 2 rubber band tricks, but I'm actually going to show you 3. First, we're going to start off with Crazy Man handcuffs. I'm sure you've heard of it. If you don't, I'll show you quickly what it is. So you get 2 rubber bands and you just interlock them like this. And then what you end up saying, or at least the pattern that I say is, alright, these kind of simulate handcuffs, right? The reason why it's called Crazy Man handcuffs is because if you look at it, right, it won't go this way, not this way, not this way, not up, not down, not left, not right, right? But is it that you're crazy or they're crazy, right? And then it just kind of dissolves through. Well, that's at least my presentation for Crazy Man handcuffs. Don't worry, I'm going to teach it to you right now. So what you do actually put it through, right? As you're talking, right, the moment you pull it back, it's 3 things happening at once. With your right hand, your right middle finger, you're going to clamp your index finger. You're going to pull back and you're going to do this motion, right? What that achieves is, you see how the band is now on my middle finger? So one more time, you're here, clamp, move it back. Now that's on the middle finger, what you want to do with this index finger is put it where the thumb is at. Boom. Just like that. Now when you come back, as you hit that other band, let go of the middle finger. And now it's released, right? But leave it there, right? And the reason why I say that is because some magicians, and I've seen it done, where they're just like, oh look, it won't go, watch this. Right? I mean, if you think that's cool, I mean, do it, by all means. Let it go when it's stretched out. Me personally, I like keeping it there. It does still seem like they're still connected. So when you do it, it's like, whoa, right? That's just me, that's my personal opinion. But do it whichever way you like. So one more time. You're clamping. You're making that motion. And then the reason you're making that motion is because, remember, I said 3 things at once. So 1, 2, and when you come back, letting go, 3. It has to happen really fast. So 1, 2, and now it's done. That's how fast it has to happen. Now I know that's a little intimidating at first, but if you just let it happen naturally, I'm already there. Literally the only thing I have to do is let go. And I'm done. So once you've done the effect, right, I usually like to put it into the hands of the spectator. I feel like it just makes it a little bit more powerful. So this is what I do, right? I'm like here. I'll keep one band and I'll put this back. I know it seems stupid to give it, or to put it back than to give it back, but it's worked for me every single time. So you have 2 of the same band. So you're going to say, look, I'm going to take one out. So you grab that band. You're going to pull. This little loop right here is going to go in between the thumb. Just like that. Should look like this from underneath. Just pull like this. Then all you're doing is pulling it back. So if I were to let go of my thumb right now, I would lose it, right? And I'd be back to step 1. So boom, then come back. Don't loop it around anything yet. You're just feeding it through that same thing. Now with this excess, you're gonna grab the band, because right now they think it's off. You are going to wrap it like that. So that now, from their point of view, they just think it's one band wrapped. But all this craziness is actually what's going on. So what you want to do, you want them to grab their hand, right? And then as they put it down, just let go. And it goes to their hand. And that's a pretty magical moment right there. And they're just going to be astonished. They're going to be like, what? How'd you do that? Right? So now they have it, right? Well, actually, I'll go through one more time in case you didn't get it. So you're pulling it from underneath. All right. This thumb right here. Make sure these two bands are touching. All right, like that, almost. Make sure it's not like this. It's more like this. Okay. Pull back. Don't let go. Now wrap it just like that. All you've got to do is just flick that thumb out and it'll transfer. So now what I have my spectators do is I just tell them to hold two fingers like this, and then I'll wrap it like that, and then I just tell them to close. So like this, and like this. And now you're ready. And then literally just do the same exact thing, right? Now don't be scared, because let's say this is in their hands. It's going to be a little intimidating at first to do the move, right? And then pretend that it's still locked. If you're going fast enough, they'll still think it's locked, right? They'll still think it's back here. You just got to keep it moving, right? And believe in it. I know that sounds corny, but trust me, it works. And then slowly let it go. It'll work 100% of the time, as long as you're quick about it and you're smooth with it. And just make sure you're talking the entire time. And right there, they're gonna feel an incredibly powerful magic moment, because they were holding the rubber band and it's like you just passed it straight through. Again, I know these sound simple, they sound pretty childish, but trust me, they're powerful if you present it that way. Alright, so those are two tricks so far. I'm gonna show you the third one. This one is probably my favorite so far. And again, you've probably seen this, but I'm going to show you my tips on it. So real quick, all it is you're grabbing two rubber bands. You tell them the first one, or this is actually what I like to do. I like to say, hey, I'm going to make this switch places, right? And then I'm like, oh, hey, close your eyes. And then I'll do this. And I'm like, oh, hey, look, I made them switch places. And I'm like, no. And then obviously you get a little bit of a laugh with it. But that's what you want. You want them to be relaxed, right? And this applies to really anything in magic. You always want them to be relaxed, so they're not burning your hands. Everybody's having a good time. And you're able to do your magic much more effectively. So once you get that little laugh out of it, what I do is I'm like, okay, look, I'll actually have this band switch places. And I'll show you what I mean here in a second. So I'll double wrap it here, and I'm like, look, I'm gonna make it switch places from here to here, but to add a little bit of extra security is like this, all right? And then all I did there, I'm just pulling it, you're twisting it, twisting it, twisting it. And it looks like this. Now what the trick looks like is you're pulling it, you're like, look, I'm going to make this hand switch. This is double wrapped, right? Watch closely. And it switches places. And now they're stunned. They're like, what? 1, 2, and 3. And it switch places again. Now you pull this off cleanly. And take this off cleanly as well. You could even have them take it off. The more you can get the spectator to do, the much more powerful that trick is going to be. So how to do it? you're actually double tying it, and you're actually locking it in. So what the band is essentially doing is it's rotating like this. That's all it's doing. Rotating from here to here. But people aren't gonna think that, right? How to get into it, how I do it, and you could even play it back. All I did was show, I'm like, oh, hey, look, this is double tied. There's no way it's going anywhere. I'll show it, close my hands. Now, over here is the blocked view. So I'm gonna show you the exposed view. I'm like, look, it's double tied. As I bring it back, this big gap that's right here, I curl all my fingers in it and just leave it like that. As I'm shaking, if you open your hands, it just goes. Now, when you're doing the trick, right, don't just do that. All right, that's weird. Just subtly open your hands and close it again. So it just looks like it jumped. Now, when I see a lot of people do this, people only do it from here to here, and then they'll call it a day, right? I actually like to make it go back, just because, I don't know, to me, I feel like it's much stronger if you can do it twice in a row. So it's literally the same principle again. You're just like, look, it's double tied. And then as you come back forward, you're just putting them there again. Let go a little bit and close. And now it's locked. And then you can give them your hand, and then they could do it all themselves. You're like, look, take it off. There's nothing to hide. All right. I mean, maybe don't say that. You don't want them to think that your magic's a puzzle to figure out. That's definitely not what you want. But this is kind of just me teaching you, right? So just before we end the video, I just kind of want to give you a quick overview of how you should do the presentation, or at least this is how I do it, right? Obviously try to come up with your own, but I'm just kind of telling you mine just so you can kind of get a gist of it and maybe kind of build off of it. So what I do, let's say I just want to show somebody some magic, and I'll be like, hey, have you ever seen magic before? Would you like to see close-up magic? Or I mean, again, maybe not the best way to approach somebody. If you watch Chris Ramsey's video, I'll actually leave the link in the description. It was actually a pretty good way to kind of get yourself out there. If you're out with a group of friends, you can just go up to a table and just be like, hey, my friends dared me. They know I'm a magician. They dared me to show you a magic trick because I'm a little nervous, right? And then people kind of feel sorry, so they'll kind of go along with it. Again, that's just one way. If you watch Chris's video, I think he's got like 5 ways that you can do it. They're all really good, by the way. I've used all of them, and it works every single time. So when you go up to him and you prepare to show him a magic trick, right? When you're pulling off the rubber bands, right? You start off with crazy man handcuffs. You're like, watch, I can make them unlink, or whatever the case may be. You give that story about the crazy man handcuffs. The next thing you want to do is you want them to enjoy the magic, right? So you do that little trick and give them the band. And that's one extremely pretty powerful moment. Once they have it, obviously have them hold it, do the trick one more time, and now they're just mind blown. Then you're like, hey, do you want to see another one? And they're like, okay. And then obviously you do that little gag of just switching it. When you have them close their eyes, they'll fall for it. It's pretty funny. And you'll get a good kick out of it. And again, they'll be relaxed. And that is exactly what you want when you're performing any type of magic, whether it be mentalism, cards, coins, rubber bands, whatever the case may be. Then you go ahead and wrap it, shake it again, give your hand to them, and they'll take it off. Again, I know these are all quick and easy, but do not underestimate it. And that goes really with anything basic in magic, like the key card principle, or maybe like a double undercut. Continue to use this, and let's get to the outro of the video. You guys liked it. I definitely had fun teaching you it. As always, if there's something that you want to add, something you want to share, go ahead and write in the comments down below, so everybody can see it and everybody can learn from everybody's experiences or mistakes or whatever the case may be. If you liked it, please leave a like if you truly liked it. If you didn't, just don't like it. Alright. And if you didn't, again, write it in the comments below so I know how to improve. Because if you just hit the dislike, I'll never know what I did wrong, you know? Help me. Help us get better. Please consider subscribing. I'm posting videos every Friday. Like I said in my previous video, I only dropped 2 videos this week. Because last Friday, I didn't forget. I just kind of failed to give you one last Friday. So I'm giving you 2 videos this week. But after this video, we're going to continue doing videos every Friday. So besides that, again, hopefully you had fun learning it, and see you next week. Peace.